a comfortable seat to start off with. So cross-legged if that feels good. I do have a bit of light, but I've got a big shadow there as well. And lift up through your chest, relax down through your shoulders, and just have a little wiggle there to just ground yourselves. Good. Then I'm going to get you to inhale and lift your shoulders really high up towards your ears, and then just let them drop as you exhale. Good. And then roll those shoulders. So we're going to roll them back to start off with. Roll them up with the inhale, back and down with the exhale. Good. We're just starting with those shoulders this morning, grounding ourselves. And see if you can make the space between your ears and your shoulders a little bit longer. So try and lift your head up a little bit higher. And let's roll them back one more time. Good. Now we're going to bring our hands onto our shoulders and roll those elbows forwards. Feels completely different. We also get a little bit of movement in the wrists because the wrists are bent. And you might feel a lot of clicking in your shoulders, or is that just me? Clicky shoulders. Nice. One more time. Good. And then come to sitting with your hands out to the side. I'm going to start with some side bends. So inhale, and as you exhale, lift that right hand up and reach over. And inhale and bring that hand down. Exhale, bring the other hand up and over. Nice. And then come back to center. Let's slow that down. So inhale that right hand up and then exhale it over. Keeping both hips in contact with the floor, keeping that neck in line with the spine and having a soft connection with the floor. We're just going to stay here for a moment just to feel that stretch. And then inhale back up to center and exhale the hand down. Good. Inhale the left hand up and exhale it over. Feeling that stretch down the side of your body. Just stay here for a moment. And then inhale to center. Nice. And bring your hands to the center of your chest. Going to have your hands facing forwards and just going to bring them up and down. So rotating through those wrists. And while you're doing this, I want you to just spread your fingers, make space between them. Nice. And just warming those wrists up a little bit here. The shoulders, wrists, and of course the elbows getting a bit of movement here as well. Nice. And then stop with your fingers facing up and reset. Lift your chest up to meet those thumbs. Grounding down on the exhale. And then inhale and reach your hands up. Look up. Exhale, just bring them back down to heart center. Pushing them towards each other. Inhale and bring those hands up again. Stop at the top. Look up at those thumbs. Exhale and bring them down. And this time, follow those fingers with your eyes. So tucking your chin towards your chest. Inhale again, pushing those hands together, reaching up high. And then this time, exhale and circle those arms out. Nice. And now we're going to come to all fours. So removing your block if you're using one. You remember that you have blocks, Pat. Ah, you used it. Well done. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. And this time we're going to come into a cat stretch. So those hips getting a little bit of warming up and that back. And a cow, inhaling your head, lowering your belly. Exhaling, tucking your chin, pulling your hips towards your nose. And then inhaling, head comes up, belly comes down. Good. Nice and slow. Exhaling, tucking your chin, rounding through your back. Inhaling and lifting. Simple cat and cow, which is really good for bringing lots of blood flow to the back, lots of movement. Because of course your back is a series of joints. Nice. And then let's come back to center. So back to that tabletop position. We're going to bring our hips backwards and forwards. So we're not going to go super far forwards. We're just going to start slowly here. Keep your fingers spread. Keep pushing into the palms of your hands. And then slowly settle back into child's pose. So bring your elbows down to the floor. And if your forehead doesn't quite reach the ground or your hips are up really high, you can always pop a block underneath your forehead. So allow your shoulders to drop out towards the floor. Now, if you've got your elbows forwards, because of course options are to have your hands towards the back, which will give your shoulders that ability to flop forwards. Or if your elbows are forwards, if you're more comfortable that way, you can just make a bit more space between the elbows and move them out a little bit. Just gives those shoulders the ability to drop forwards and stretch through the back of the body. And now we're going to do a side bend here. So we'll reach your hands forwards, elbows are up off the floor. Hands are still planted. Inhale, and as you exhale, walk your hands over to one side. So this stretch now down the side of the body, all the way into the armpit, with the forehead down towards the ground. Inhaling, and as you exhale, come back to center. Just reset here. And then inhale, and as you exhale, walk your hands over to the other side. Feeling that lovely stretch down the side of the body into the back. And then inhale, and as you exhale, come back to center. And inhale, coming up to all fours. I'm going to get rid of my block and walk my hands a little further forward. So bring those knees back. So I'm making a bit more space now. Sinking back into puppy pose. So hips up high, forehead comes down, arms are long. Feel that stretch in the shoulders. Big inhale here. Lift your belly as much as you can and then squeeze your glutes and come forwards and come down into Sphinx pose. So align your elbows under your shoulders. Elbows on the ground. Nice. Now, Pat, bring your elbows a little further forwards so that they're aligned under your shoulders. There we go. And that'll lift your chest up a little bit. Lovely. And we're looking out to the horizon. And I want you to just look over each shoulder, but use the whole of your body. Don't just use the head. Feel that stretch down the front of the body now. Into those side abs, those obliques. Good. And remember, we're still lifting up, so the head still is looking out to the horizon. And it's the shoulders that are moving side to side. Good. Well done. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring your hands down where your elbows were. We're going to push back up And send our hips back again into that puppy pose. Remember, puppy pose, similar to child's pose, but very high hips. And it gives you a little more stretch in that upper back. Nice. Tuck your toes under. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, push away from the floor and come up into your down dog. Nicely set up for a nice wide down dog here, and push through one heel and then the other one. So think about your feet here, bringing a little bit of movement to your feet, really pushing down into the balls of your feet and those heels aiming towards the floor. Also pushing into the heels of your hands, feeling that stretch down the backs of your legs and all the way into those shoulders. Nice. Right, we're going to come forwards into a high plank. So come up onto your toes and bring your belly forwards. Align your shoulders over your wrists. Good. And then push back into down dog. Again, just pushing one heel and then the other one down. Now on this one, Pat, I want you to keep your hips as high as you can when you come forwards into that plank, okay? So come up onto your toes, bring all that energy in the body forwards and keep those hips as high as you can. Nice, much better, well done. And then gently lower your knees and sink back into child's pose or puppy pose, whichever suits you. And inhale, coming up to all fours. So aligning those hands under the shoulders. Now you're both facing me, so bring your hands back a little bit there, Pat. Hands back a little bit, there we go. I'm going to get you to lift your right hand up and open your chest towards me. Lovely torso twist, this one. And exhale, bring it down. Lift your left hand up and look away from me, opening that chest out. And exhale, bring it down. Back to the right hand, lifting on the inhale and exhaling. Going to send that hand between the opposite hand and the hip. Look under the elbow away from you, side of the head down on the floor. And inhale, coming up again to open that chest towards me, so that hand up. Good. And then bring the hand down. We're going to open out to the back this time, so inhale. Must have done something wrong there because you both opened out to the back. And exhale, thread that hand through. Bring the ear down to the floor, the side of the head down to the floor. There we go. And feel the stretch in your shoulder. Nice. And then inhale and open out towards the back again. Exhale, both hands down. Inhale, and as you exhale, send your hips back and down again into child's pose. Inhale and come up to all fours. Exhale back to your down dog. And then inhale into that high plank again. So shoulders over wrists here. And I'm going to get you to gently lower your knees. We're coming down into chaturanga. So knees down first. Tuck elbows tight and bring chin and chest down to the floor. Good. Push away from the floor slightly, squeezing your glutes, coming up into baby cobra. That's it. And then exhaling back into down dog. Nice. From here, lift your right leg into a three-legged dog. So reach that foot up as high as you can, but keep your hips even. Good. Place it down on the floor. Push both heels down. And inhale and lift your left leg up. I've got an imprint on my mat of my toes. That's what you want. And then both feet down. Come forwards into that high plank. Gently lower it to your knees. And then tuck your elbows tight and bring your chin and chest down to the floor. Keep your elbows tight. Baby cobra here. So push into the floor with your feet. Push into the floor with your hands. Squeeze your glutes and lift your chest. A little back bend here to keep that back nice and healthy. Good. Then push away from the floor and come back up to all fours. So one more on our wrists here. I'm aware we've been on our wrists quite a lot. Nicely aligned here in tabletop position. We're going to do the bird dog. I don't know why it's called bird dog. It's a very odd name. But you're going to lift your right leg up and send it out behind you. Now you want to make sure that the rest of your body is nicely aligned. Good. Long straight leg, and that foot is at glute height. Now the back arm, the opposite arm, reaches out, reaches away from you, and is at shoulder height. Good. And you're looking down at the floor to keep that back straight. Lovely. Hand down, leg down, and do a cat. Exhale into a cat. Inhale into a cow. Reset to tabletop. And we're going to the other side. So that back leg. Good. And then reset. Make sure that your shoulder is over your wrist here. And the front arm reaches up and away from you. Now try and make as much space between your toes and your fingers as you can. Good. And then the hand comes down, foot comes down, and we do a cat stretch with the exhale. And a cow stretch with the inhale. And one more down dog just to bring us up to standing. So pushing your heels down, diving your head between your elbows. And then closing that gap between your feet and your hands. So stepping up or walking your hands towards your feet. So now we're in our forward fold. Generous bend here in your knees and look towards those knees. So let the weight of your head go. And have a gentle sway from side to side. Sometimes holding onto your elbows can feel good here as well. And if you do, just dive your head between your elbows. It gives you a little bit more weight there. And then come to stillness in the middle with an exhale. Now keeping your knees bent, we're going to roll up slowly to mountain pose. So push away from the floor with your feet. Feel the energy come up the whole of your body. Stack all those vertebrae on top of each other. Roll those shoulders up, back and down, and then lift your head up nice. And then just roll your shoulders up, back and down one more time. Lovely. Oh, step nice and wide for me with those legs, dealing with our trousers here. And then send your right toes out along the length of your mat and make sure your hips and shoulders are towards me. Send the left toes in slightly and come up into our triangle. So inhale those arms, exhale, relax your shoulders. And then those right fingertips are going to reach over those right toes. And then the hand comes down on the floor. Other hand comes up and over. And stops when we're in a long straight line. Lovely side bend here, all the way down to the toes. Keep the legs where they are. Inhale and pivot on that waist, coming up in the other direction. Oh, such a nice stretch in the back. And then inhale and exhale, settling back in the middle. You're going to lift your feet up and keep the heels where they are and pivot. So right foot comes in, left toes go out. Bring your hands onto your hips, Just reset those hips, make sure they're facing forwards, good. And then inhale those arms up again. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, and as you exhale, reach over those toes. And then bring that hand onto that leg somewhere. So left hand on left leg somewhere, right hand comes up and over. Ah. Keeping that neck in line with your spine. Jaw is relaxed. Inhale and exhale as you come up and over to the other side, like a windmill. Then inhale and exhale, back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to get you to bring your feet so that both sets of feet are facing out, and just have a little wiggle in those hips. Just move those hips from side to side. Good. Slowly bend those knees and come down into a sumo squat. So forearms onto thighs. Now you might find here that you're a bit wide. It might be uncomfortable. I'm actually more comfortable with those feet in. So find a width between the feet that is right for you. You're both not moving, so you're obviously happy there, which is good. So lift your chest with an inhale, and then send your hips up and your head down with an exhale into a forward fold. Remembering to let your head hang, so look between your knees. Relax your shoulders, so give in to gravity here with the top of your body. And then we're going to bring our forearms to our thighs, bring our hands together, and inhale back into that sumo squat until I eventually see your face. There we go. Nice. You've gotten used to this move now. Push your hands together, bring them up overhead, and then push away from the floor. Oof, beautiful. Inhale, look up at your hands. Exhale, sink down into that goddess pose. So we're building strength in our legs here. Nice. Inhale and bring those hands up again. I'm going to get you to step in so that we've got those feet together. And exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, we're going to sink down into chair pose. So squeeze the knees together, squeeze the ankles together. Lovely. A new move here. We're going to do a chair twist. So you're going to place your left elbow on the outside of the right leg. So inhale and lift your chest. Bring that elbow on the outside. Lovely. And try and keep your hands in the center of your chest. Lovely. Come back to center. Stay low in your legs. Inhaling, good. And exhaling in the other direction. Nice. Well done. We'll work on that one. And then inhaling to center and exhaling, sinking down. And then bring your hands up above your head. Inhaling here. And exhaling, standing back up again. Anyone's legs burning? Yeah, good. And then circle your arms behind you and clasp them behind you. So really clasp those fingers together and pull, 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 pull your hands down. So lifting up through your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together and opening out through the front of your body. Inhale again and exhale, really squeeze. Beautiful. Then unclasp those hands, bring them up above your head, clasp them above your head, and bring them down in front of you. So here, we're going to start to pull away. So we're pulling our shoulder blades apart, pulling those arms away from the shoulder blades and rounding through your back. Good. Unclasp those hands and bring them down behind you again. So clasping the hands behind you, pulling them down and then stepping your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. So lifting through your chest with an inhale, exhaling, soft bend in your knees and fold forwards, sending those hands up behind you. Deep forward fold here with that added shoulder stretch. Lovely stretch in the hamstrings, stretching the whole of the back. Remember, let your head go. We're going to take a big inhale and come up. So pushing away from the floor. And then exhale, unclasp your hands and just shake those arms up. Nice. We're not done yet. A little bit of balance here. So we're going to stand on our right leg and have a soft bend in that right knee. Left foot, just starting with the toe on the floor. Bring your arms out and lift your chest up, and then slowly lift that left leg up so that the knee is at hip height. Now remember, this is play, so have a little play with it. Stop there and see what you can do. Maybe rotate through your ankle, rotate through your wrists. Good, nice. Bring your hands up above your head, relax your shoulders. Use your breath, exhale, bringing your hands down to heart center. Beautiful, well done. Remember, the floor's always there if you need it. And then bring your arms out again. Bring our knee out to the side. Have a little play. Ooh. Bring the leg back to center. And bring it back down again. Well done. Do you think Bob's laughing at you? Yes. Shake those legs out, because he's very much paying lots of attention, isn't he? He's like, yes, I'm going to look from this angle, from that angle. Other side. Okay, so standing on that left leg, soft bend in the knee so we're not locked out, and starting just with the toe on the floor. Good. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale, reach that right hand up. It's not a right hand, it's a right knee, sorry. Relaxing here, so relax, lifting your chest up. Good. And then start to play with those arms. So you're overbalancing yourself here. But the thing is, you need to remember is the most solid part of your body here is stable. So all we're doing here is playing with a little bit of added weight. Good. Inhale and bring your hands up. So we've got to push away from the floor here. Keep pushing. Exhale, grounding. Bringing those hands down to heart center. She touches down for a little rest in between. That's me I'm talking about. Good. And then bring those hands out and bring the knee out. To the side. Have a play with it. Good. Bring it back to center and bring it down. Nice. Shake those legs out. Yeah, we're going to go side to side now. So right leg gets the weight, left leg comes up, arms come out, and you can take a soft bend in that standing leg. Good. Let's step over to the other side. So take a step, see if you can challenge yourself. Good. And again, just like we did with those bird dogs, you want to feel this in the glute. We'll do one more time on each side. So step and lift. Whee! And step and lift to the other side. And have a play. Well done. Wonderful. Land. Shake those legs out. Oh, let's give our glutes a stretch. So I know coming down into this sumo squat does feel like it's quite hard work, but you can go super deep into it and make it quite hard work, or you can come up a little higher and just have a little wiggle to stretch those glutes out. Yes, and that lower back as well. Nice. Inhale and exhale, come deep into it for me. Bring the right hand down to the floor. Lift the left hand up. Lovely deep stretch. Swap hands, exhaling and inhaling. Lovely. And then bring your hands to your thighs again. Push away from the floor and bring your feet together. Inhale your hands up high. Bring your palms together and exhale those hands down into the center of our chest. And we're done. So namaste. Thank you.